Hey everybody, this is Pastor Will and
Charlotte.
and we are here, and this is
Jimmy,
and we're here for the world famous Will and
Charlotte, and Jimmy
Show. Hey, give it a hand, give it all for the Will and Jimmy Show.
Yes.
So you see, we have our friend Charlotte back with us from Sudbury, Ontario, and the Lord wanted her to feel at home in Tennessee today, so he sent snow flurries for you.
This is correct.
Which we didn't want her to get too discouraged while she's here, but you told us you had about 2 feet of snow.
That is correct.
When you
Yes.
left home, and you
it's
won't be
probably
seeing.
still there.
Yeah, you won't be seeing the flowers and all that we're seeing for another 6 weeks or 2 months.
Definitely not. But I've seen some beautiful flowers and trees while I've been here, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So many of you got to meet Charlotte and her sister-in-law Penny about 6 months ago when they were here at Shades. So we learned a whole lot about the loonies and the toonies. And you actually brought some loonies and toonies
That's right.
today. And I have them here in my little packet. Tell everybody what the loony and the toonie is
Well,
again.
the loonie is the $1 and the toonie is the $2. And we don't actually have the loonie and the toonie bill now. We only just have, this is the toonie
Okay.
and this is the loonie with the loon on it.
And at Shades of Grace, we have loony toonies every day. And we didn't have to go to Canada to get them.
Sometimes at home I have many of them.
Okay. See, we have to laugh a little bit.
I'm looking at a couple of them right now.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yes.
You didn't hear that.
No, we didn't hear it. So, Jimmy, how are you today?
I'm doing just fine. It's been another busy day
Yes.
here at Shades of Grace.
It has.
We're just now getting a few quiet moments to record our show.
That
today.
doesn't happen very often
It
here.
does not, unless we go and close the door. But we got a little different setting today.
Yes.
And since we have a special guest, we have to have a special show.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
All
I
right.
told her she brought this cold weather with her. It has been.
That
It's
is
been
really true. I
It's
did.
been unseasonably
It followed me.
warm.
It followed me right down.
Yeah. We had record-breaking temperatures here a few weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know,
For
almost
Christmas.
near 80 degrees. Yeah.
Oh,
Not warm
It was
temperatures.
record-breaking in the
Yeah.
wrong direction.
Yeah, no.
But we have also had 80 degrees already.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Shirley told me.
Yeah. And then here it's snowing this morning.
Yeah.
Boy. And I wonder how everybody's doing with the time change. I struggled. with
I've been sleepy today. Have you
Yeah.
all been sleepy
I,
today?
Yeah.
I was sleepy today, and
Yeah.
was it Sunday?
I think the
I
time
was
change
a little
somehow
bit sleepy, but not too bad.
gives us just a little inkling of jet lag.
Right. For the well, I don't know, for the first time ever, we forgot the time change at our house this year. We've never done that before, and didn't realize it until Sunday morning when I happened to look at my watch and it was different than everything else. It's like, oh no, we forgot. So we were running way behind, and I stayed behind. I'm still behind.
I'm still
I'm
behind.
not caught up.
Well, I tell you, I did go to Emmanuel Lutheran. Steve and Susie joined me there, and we did the dedication for the new Rogers organ. You weren't there,
Oh,
but it was a Rogers organ.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful program, and Shades of Grace was instrumental in giving a good offering to help kick off their organ fund.
That's wonderful.
And Emmanuel is the oldest Lutheran congregation in the whole state of Tennessee. And they partner with us in so many, many ways. So it was a blessing, but I did make it there on time, Jimmy.
Did you? I didn't make it at all.
I looked around, I didn't see
I had loosely planned on being there. but-
loosely, with
Yeah.
emphasis on loosely.
Yeah, loosely.
Yeah.
Well, the 6-day week, Sunday's kind of that only day
Yeah.
to rest a little, but definitely that time change.
Yeah. You kind
Yeah.
of slipped up on
It
us.
sure did.
You did the time changes
Yes.
in Canada?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
They keep saying that we're going to stay on daylight saving time all year, but then they never do.
Are you
They-
on the central time zone? Or
No, Eastern
East-
Standard.
are you in Eastern?
Yes.
Oh, are you
Okay.
really?
Yes.
Okay, I
Yes.
didn't
Okay.
know that.
Well,
Okay.
there's a lot of different time zones
Yeah.
and through Canada, just like there are here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you would be central
No.
at least. Oh,
No.
okay. Wow.
No, it's the exact same time.
Not that far from us in Tennessee, after you pass through Knoxville, you hit the central time zone. Did you know that?
No, but I I used to live in Illinois, and we were in the central time zone.
Yeah.
What is it?
Not that
Is it
far from us.
Cookeville?
Uh,
Cookeville, Tennessee?
Around Cookville.
Yeah, I think
What's
that's
that,
where
2
you-
hours away?
Yeah, 2.5 hours away.
So, yeah.
We're
I
not
would
Oh,
have
I
thought
didn't
maybe.
realize that, but when we were in Nashville, I think.
It's the
Yes,
central
that's
time zone.
right, yeah.
Central time zone.
It's great going down because you gain that extra hour.
Yeah.
But when you come back, you
Yeah.
sure feel it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, how's everybody doing out there on virtual media tonight? Type in, let Jimmy know, let Charlotte know where you're
Yes.
at. Jimmy, let everybody know, you were telling me how many people watched the Will and Jimmy show last week.
Yeah, last week we had over 3,300 people that have, as of today, that have tuned in to watch last week's episode. So thank you all so much. And how that happens is by people sharing this on your page. And I see new names each week of people who are watching us, that are commenting and liking us, and that's how that happens. So 3,300.
Can you imagine?
That might be a
That's
record.
great.
I'd have to go back and check. I know we've had some that are pretty high, but that might be a record. Definitely. So
Well, that's great.
great.
that's good.
Really
Yeah,
is.
sure.
And you've
is.
told us we have people from how many countries?
Oh, over 40 countries that follow us on Facebook, and each week we have, it's some of the most random little countries where and it may just be one person that's watching us, but Facebook does a great job of tracking those, and we get to see. And
You know,
it's
and
amazing.
Jesus talked about take the gospel into all the world. And it's happening in our world today.
It is.
By
Yeah, it
social
is.
media.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would we do without social media?
Well,
You know.
I remember do you remember when cell phones first came out?
Yes, I do.
And I remember that. And then when people started texting, and I was one of those holdouts who said, oh, that's stupid. I'd
I
rather
was
just
too.
pick up the phone and call.
I
Now,
was
who
too.
texts more than anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I was the same way until I got. Do you remember Blackberries?
Yes.
You
I
remember
have one.
those?
Yes.
When I got one of those, that's when I started texting.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
I
it made it
I
easier.
said, "Hey, I like this." Yeah, because remember you had to push the number like 3 times to get to certain letters, and
Yeah, oh, yeah.
you know,
I couldn't do it that way, so
Yeah.
that is what that is when I actually said I will never be texting because like
Do you text now?
oh I do all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. see?
Never say
all the
never.
time. No.
Is there anybody watching us that doesn't text? I'd be curious to know, because I know a lot of people text me. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, but times have really changed. I remember the first. This would have probably been in the early 2000s. I had the first camera phone that was ever made. It was by Sprint PCS back then. I don't even think they exist anymore. And it was a flip phone, but it had a camera on the flip part, and you could take pictures. And it was like a 1 megapixel picture. And to compare today, most of your Android phones today are at least 16 megapixels or above. So it took really horrible pictures, but it was so neat to be able to. Who would have ever thought, oh, you can take a picture with a
Yeah.
phone? Now you don't even need a camera.
Yeah.
You take your phone as your camera.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
You
No,
take
I don't
some
even
great
have
pictures.
a camera now. except
Yeah.
for my phone.
Just in your phone.
Yeah.
Right.
The only time I do still have a digital camera, a pretty good one. I'll pull it out to take moon pictures and sunset pictures. You know, I mean, it zooms in on the moon really nice and all that. But I don't use it that often.
Right.
Not that often at all.
Well,
But-
Jimmy, speaking of the cameras, I
Yeah.
know it seems like you're not on the 15-second delay, and I butt in on you a lot of times
Hey, it's
when you're
okay.
finishing your words.
It's all right.
And I want you to tell everybody, since you are the cameraman,
Yeah.
speaking of camera
Yeah.
and all of that, I wanted you to tell everybody about our services
Okay.
this past week.
We had almost a full house this Saturday morning.
Had a good crowd.
Yes, we did. And I'm telling you, I always say this: if you're not here, you are missing out. Good message, great music. It was a really good time, and I think everybody was encouraged by it. You could tell the chairs in here were rocking and rolling back and forth, and that's
In
a
case you
good
all are
sign.
wondering, this
Yeah.
is, when I say we're rocking, this is what we do. Go ahead and rock, Charlotte.
Yeah, there you
Go
go.
ahead. See, this is
Yes.
the only church I know where we can rock and roll at the same time as we're worshiping.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay,
And,
but these don't you love these chairs?
I do.
These
I
are
do.
really
They're very
comfortable
comfortable.
chairs. Yeah.
They're
And
very
this past Monday, we had a memorial service for Dewey Frazier.
Yes, we
You
did.
shared some stories about Dewey on Facebook. I hope everybody read those.
Yes.
Interesting life story to
Yes.
tell.
Yes, it was.
Had another good turnout for his funeral there.
Yeah, we did.
And this week we've got something special coming up. This Thursday we have another free health screening.
Yes, tomorrow,
And
actually.
we are partnering with Ballot Health.
Yeah.
It's going to be from 9 to 1. And we did one, back in December,
Maybe 3
I
months
guess,
ago.
something
Yeah.
like that maybe. And had a good turnout. And they're offering different kinds of health screenings. Anyone is welcome to come. You don't have to have insurance. There's no payment required. You can come in and meet with one of the representatives. And
And they will follow up with you.
yes, we can say that for sure.
Yeah.
They have provided follow-up care, and it's not just health screenings. They talk about insurance. They talk about housing. Things that people need who are in our community, because there is a lot of need. So that is
Yes.
Thursday from 9 until 1.
Yes.
So even if you don't need the health screening, I'm sure that you know someone who does. Let them know to come on out, and it is free of charge.
Yeah.
Yes. And someone's getting ready to take off on a little trip.
Wonder who that is. Have you heard it? Yeah, let's see. You're going on a trip. You're going back to Canada, aren't
But
you?
I don't think he's talking about me.
Well, when are you going back to Canada?
Saturday,
Oh, already? Wow.
yes.
Well, time flies.
It does
It definitely
fly.
does. But yeah,
Well, I'm going to be going to Israel and Egypt, the Lord willing, and I'm leaving on Tuesday. And I'll be flying out from Tri-Cities to Atlanta, Atlanta to Paris, Paris to Tel Aviv, then on by automobile to Egypt, and fly back from Cairo to Paris, back to Atlanta, and back to Tri-Cities. So I've made that trip a number of times, but it's always new and always exciting. And I've got 14 people that are planning to accompany me. I'm a tour host, by the way, in case you're wondering. I'm a tour host with educational opportunities and lead tours. I've done that for many years now. But say a prayer for me as I'll travel, and I'll be enjoying it, sending pictures back,
Yeah.
and maybe doing some daily little things for you to see on our church page or on my personal page. And Jimmy has agreed to do my daily phone tree message for me in my absence. So if you hear a strange voice with the Shades of Grace phone number, you'll know it's Jimmy.
it'll be me.
All of you know Jimmy's voice.
Yes.
Yep. You may not know what I look like, but you know what I sound like.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy wears many hats.
Yes,
You know,
for sure.
we received a call here last week at the church from a local funeral home, and they called my cell and asked if Pastor Jimmy was here, and they needed him to officiate a funeral. And I said, hold on just a minute. So Jimmy gets another hat to wear and another zero on his salary. Unfortunately, that zero is going to go on the front.
On the
this
wrong
time.
end. That's
Oh,
right.
Becky, are you going where we thought? I have something for you to take. Hold on. Go ahead. You all talk just a minute, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Jimmy might want to do a commercial.
Well, yeah, we'll be right back. I'll put my hand in here. So,
Jimmy, where is that?
what's that?
For my call.
Oh, open that up. Lift that drawer up right there. It's right there.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Thank you, thank you. That's why we struggle. That's why we keep recording on Sundays, because we got out of such a habit of doing it live, we would have really struggled.
Shirley, I told Shirley to tell you bye, and I guess they threw.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
She said she didn't know if y'all would be back over here, but.
Yeah, it was wonderful seeing you again.
You
Thank
too.
you.
It was a short trip.
It was a short trip, yes, but a good trip.
If Michael isn't there, just hold on. Bye, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, are we back?
We are back.
We just had a commercial. How does it feel to be in a commercial
Oh,
break?
it's wonderful.
We have those unexpected commercials at Shades of Grace.
Yes.
Okay.
So you were telling us you're about to head out on your
Oh,
trip.
yes, I'll be
and,
going on my journey.
As you
and
come back, we will be going into
We'll
the
be
Holy Week.
already in Holy Week, getting ready to do our Walk with the Cross on Good Friday. So we want to invite everybody to join us. Every year we meet right here at 12 noon on the mark, right?
Yes, 12
And
o'clock.
then we have a quick prayer in the building, and then we walk throughout the community carrying the cross. And we stop at several locations. We offer prayer, and sometimes we'll stop and just have a little conversation along the way as we carry the cross on Good Friday, remembering what Jesus did as he carried the cross for us.
It's a great
Yes.
time. Come join us.
Yeah,
Rain, snow, or shine.
everybody's welcome.
we'll
Everybody's
still do it.
invited to walk with the cross.
And we've had all the above. It's rained. It's been beautiful.
We've
it's been
had all of
cold,
it,
It's
yes.
we've had a little bit of everything.
We've had it when we sweated, and we've had it when we were cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year was perfect.
It was a
Last
good
year was
day.
beautiful. It really
Yes.
was. So I want to mention this too. We're kind of talking about changing the way we do the Will and Jimmy show. So maybe by the time that you come back from your trip, change may be in place.
Okay.
Several people have asked, hey, they want to see me on the other side of the camera. So I think we're going to set up a table and do like a video podcast.
All right.
Let us know what you think about that.
Okay.
I've got some plans working already that are in the works. And hopefully by the time that you get back, that will all be set up and ready to go.
You just have to wear your checkerboard shoes and your 3 records
I
shirt.
like records and 3 people.
He said, I like records and maybe 3 people.
Done. I can do that. You know
Where's
what I
my T-shirt you were talking about earlier?
Yes.
The one I'm thinking of?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, all right. But yeah, we are working on that. So let us know what you think about that. Change is always good.
Absolutely.
Change is good.
I've been thinking about it. Several people have mentioned it, and I've been thinking about it. And then we had someone here on Friday that was talking to you, and you were on the phone. They mentioned, they said, hey, I've got an idea for the Will and Jimmy show.
All right.
Why don't you do this? And I thought, that's the confirmation. So we're going to give it a shot and see how it goes.
And we do have those Will and Jimmy Show T-shirts. Do you need to take some back to Canada? We have some
take
here.
A couple
Yeah.
because I do know some people
Sure,
that would be
okay.
interested in having
All
one,
right.
and I meant to wear mine today, but I
Yeah.
don't. It was cold and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah,
So
that's okay.
You know, after we have a stack left, maybe 10 or 12, and after those are gone, how many do you think we went through?
You told me, has it been 300?
That was a while back. We've ordered 600
Wow.
Will and Jimmy show shirts.
So somewhere there's 500 or 600 people wandering around wearing those T-shirts. We hope.
Yeah.
We hope they
So,
are.
yeah,
Yeah.
that or this. Once these are done, that'll be 600 shirts.
600 T-shirts.
I had to go back and double check to make sure I was
Wow.
right, but it
I
was
wouldn't have-
600.
Yeah. And there's no
Yeah.
charge for those for any of you. You want one, let us know.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And we can always get more.
Yeah.
No problem at all. But anyway, over the last couple of weeks, I've been sharing some fun facts. I think we did some fun facts about spring. Last week we did
Yeah.
some old wives' tales. So today, I've got some fun facts about, take a guess,
the weather,
Canada.
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 Oh, nice.
Canada.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so we've had a good laugh over these mornings, Charlotte. You just didn't know. Now, some of these I knew because you all know I'm married to a Canadian. So some of these I did know, but most of these I didn't. This is very interesting. I'm going to talk to her about these and see if she knew.
Wonder
this.
if she knows.
She may not know.
We need to get her on here and interview her.
Did you
She
know
might
that
tell us a few things.
Canada has the longest coastline in the world?
I think I have heard that.
The longest coastline. It's 202,000 kilometers.
Right.
So I'm not sure what that would be in miles, but that's a lot. That would be a
That's
lot of miles.
That's a lot of miles.
And the coastline borders 3 oceans: the Pacific, the Atlantic, and the Arctic Ocean. I didn't know that. And did you know that a bear from Canada inspired Winnie the Pooh?
Was he polar
Well,
or
could be.
bipolar?
No, I think I have heard that, but it would be something I had forgotten. But I think I have heard that, yes.
A bear came from White River in Ontario, was shipped to the London Zoo in 1915. And Christopher Robin was actually a little boy, like he was a real, child. And he went to that zoo, and he loved this bear, and his father watched him interact with this bear, and that's how he came up with the idea to write the Winnie the Pooh books. Now this one blew me away. Canada has 2 deserts. Says that one desert is located in British Columbia. It's 15 miles long, and it's the only desert in the world with a boardwalk for visitors.
I did not know that.
And the second desert is in northern Saskatchewan. You don't think of deserts in Canada.
No, I didn't know that either.
Canada is the second largest country in the world by total area. Russia is the first. Russia is the largest. And I like this one. Canadian police actually give out positive tickets when they see people, particularly kids, doing positive things.
Yes.
That's true, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Don't see that around here, do we?
No.
No.
I
We don't like
don't think that's everywhere, but I've seen it on TV.
Yeah.
Where they do.
That's really good. I like that. That's a.
I like
so
that too.
That might be an idea to tell our local officials.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. Here's one for you, Charlotte. Canada eats more donuts than any other country in the world.
Oh, I absolutely believe that because there is a Tim Hortons on every corner. Like in Sudbury, our population is 160,000, but we probably have 15, 16 Tim Hortons.
Yep,
At
and
least.
it does mention that. It says it's all because of Tim Horton.
Yes.
It says that Canada has more donut shops per capita than any other country in the world, and each year 30 million people eat over 1 billion donuts in Canada.
Yes, I absolutely
Wow.
believe that.
That's a good place for metformin or insulin, right?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I would absolutely believe that.
And did you know that the official phone number for Canada is 1-800-O-Canada? And it says that it really tried dialing it and Canada will answer.
Oh,
We're going to try that.
Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Hey, are you finished on your Canadian questions?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just getting started.
Okay, because I've got one too. I want to make sure.
I got just
Okay.
a few more. Now,
Yeah,
this one I
okay.
did know. Canadians buy milk in bags.
that's correct.
It says 75% of the milk that Canadians drink comes from a bag.
Yes.
It's more cost effective than buying it in bottles or cartons.
Absolutely.
And I know this because my wife, in our relationship, she was going to Food Scene. She said, "Make sure you pick up a bag of milk." I was like, "Oh, what?" And that was just a habit. She knows we don't have, but she said a bag of milk. I was like, "You're crazy," and maybe she
No.
is, but no, 75% get their milk from a bag.
That's absolutely
In British Columbia, it is illegal to kill a Sasquatch.
Well,
Why would they need to make it illegal? Have you ever seen a Sasquatch in Canada?
I don't think so.
No. Well, that's true. And then this is another one that really shocked me. Canada is the snake capital of the world. It says that Manitoba in Canada has the largest concentration of snakes in the world. Around 70,000 snakes come out of hibernation each year.
I did not know that.
70,000 types of snakes?
70,000 snakes.
Oh, 70,000.
And it says the most popular type of snake is the red-sided garter snake.
In Sudbury, you don't see many snakes. We have very few. You might see a little tiny snake the odd time, but almost never.
I wouldn't even think you would ever see it.
In-
That shocked me.
Like in Sudbury, like you wouldn't. Occasionally, you'll see like a little one lying in the road or something like that. But I think I've only ever seen 2 snakes around my house, and they were just little tiny snakes. Though if you go on, like down, say, 30, 40 miles, there's the Mississauga rattler. So definitely, I know
That doesn't
there
sound
are.
good. You don't think of Canada and snakes as being, But anyway, I saved the best for last. This is the best one. How did you say that city again? Tell me the
Well,
Guelph. Yes, in the city of Guelph in Ontario, there is a strip club that doubles as a church on Sundays, and it's called the Manor. It is their motto is Saturday nights are for dancing, but Sunday mornings are for Jesus. And it's actually a pretty popular place.
and that's
I
not too
guess.
far from Penny, is it?
No, it's not too far from Penny. And
Yeah.
the odd thing is that my stepson lived there for mega years, and I did not know that.
It says that city has a population of 150,000. It's a suburban university town, I guess. It's about an hour from Toronto.
Yes.
And it says on any given Sundays, the attendees at the Manor service are a mixture of middle-class Christians, mostly friends or associates of different church organizations in the area. And then they're, people that just come in off the street. And they also have free food. They do offer free food, so that brings a lot of people in
Sounds a
off the
lot
street.
like Shades of Grace.
But it
doesn't
says that during each service, confused strip club customers come in and they're very confused as to what's going on,
I could imagine.
I would
looking
guess so.
for what they thought was going to be Saturday night, but it's Sunday morning. But they use this as a great ministry tool.
Yes.
And it says that in the year, this was from 2020, they had 17 baptisms in the parking lot. So I think that's a great
amazing.
ministry. It really is.
Well, I'm glad Jimmy shared that because there is something called Fresh Expressions that is being done throughout the United Methodist denomination in various conferences. And I've talked a lot with some of those folks and been a part of some of their visioning for that. But it's exactly what Jimmy has described, and that is finding locations to be the church where normally the church would never exist. For example, you've heard of the rodeo church or the cowboy church.
Cowboy Church, yeah.
And there are lots of places where there's a lot of cowboys and all of that. They'll actually use the place where they maybe have their horses and the animals that are in the rodeos
Right.
on Sunday morning or whatever time the building is open. They will use that as a place of worship and people will come. There's a place I know in North Carolina in particular that is a bar, actual bar,
Right.
and they do worship on Sundays. And that's really something that's, there are restaurants, cafes, tap rooms, all kinds of places
Absolutely wonderful.
that are being used as places of worship.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so that's really, I've been to Guelph, I know where this is. And as I said, I spent a lot of time in Canada over the years preaching.
So how much time did you spend in that city, Pastor Will?
Well, I was passing through and I didn't know what I know now. I would have loved to have gone there on a a Sunday morning. Okay, we do worship on Saturdays
Yes, I know
there.
it's
Boy, they
confusing.
would be mixed up if they switched their worship
That's
time.
right. They
Yeah.
definitely would.
Okay, Jimmy, you ready for mine?
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah.
Okay, and I've known about this for a long, long time, but I wonder if you do. This is true or false.
Okay.
Somewhere in Canada, palm trees grow and flourish. And I'm not talking about just on the patio or brought in and out, but that live there, throughout all the seasons.
Seasons.
True or false?
Well,
I know how most people would answer that question.
I would, you would think it would be false, and the only place I would think that it could possibly be true would be in British Columbia.
You got it.
Oh, right.
You got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the only place that I could.
Vancouver.
Yes, yes.
Here's your picture.
Okay.
Show it.
Yes.
Hold it up to the camera.
Yeah, there it is. Wow. And that's in Vancouver.
Vancouver, and
Okay.
I'll explain to you why. I knew this was the case, but I wanted to Google this and look it up while you were here today. They're not native to Vancouver. However, the first ones were planted there 20 years ago, and they're flourishing because of the location is just right. I mean, the temperatures are mild enough, And 4 or 5 species of palm trees can grow in Vancouver. But the most ones who grow there are called the windmill palms. They're native to Asia and hardy enough to survive the mild Vancouver winters. Okay? And it says some people think it's almost blasphemous for us to have palm trees in Vancouver because they're not native trees. But for those who love diversity and horticulture, it's a great thing that we can grow that here. So I didn't know, I just thought you would enjoy that today.
That's very
Whoever would have
interesting.
thought it?
I haven't been to British Columbia, but I just thought if there would be palm trees, it would have to
Well,
be.
if they have a desert, they have to have palm trees, right?
Right.
There you
We've
go.
learned a lot today.
We have learned so much. I learned a lot I didn't know.
Now, if we could just learn that much about the Bible, wouldn't that be
We
great?
would be doing just fantastic.
All right.
Yes, well, I had some trivia questions, but we've kind of ran out of time with all this, and that's okay. I won't put Charlotte on the spot. We'll give you a break this week.
Thank you.
Okay.
How's that? But yeah, I've enjoyed this, and learned a lot about Canada.
That's
It's and it's they're our neighboring. It's amazing.
They're the
that
51st state and the largest state.
There was some, and I read something about that. Is like one of the declarations of the United States back in the 1800s actually said there was a declaration that Canada could become the 51st state if Canada ever wanted to be a state. But they're our neighbors, and we just don't learn enough about them.
Yeah.
When I met my wife, I didn't know anything about Canada, but boy, I sure learned quickly.
When I
Yeah.
met my late husband, I knew almost nothing about Canada. I knew virtually nothing. I actually thought all of Canada was French. That's what I thought when I first met him. And I quickly found out that wasn't
Right.
true, but that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Now, is your area strongly bilingual, or
Yes.
yes? Yeah.
Yes.
So do you speak a lot of French?
I do not.
No.
I do not. And when I first moved there, I worked at Laurentian University, which was a bilingual university. And I did take French lessons, but let me tell you, a Southern accent trying to speak French does not go over well. Does not go over well. I think my French teacher was in shock. I think she thought, no, this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So my husband could speak a good bit of French, and he understood most of what he read,
Yeah.
though he didn't grow up in a French-speaking area.
Yes.
But he did know, like you would take some French classes, and so, but no.
When my wife and I were dating, I'll tell a funny story on her. She spoke French until she was 6 or 7, and that's when she started to learn English. And then she was definitely in the bilingual area. But no, when our son was small, the French would come out a lot of times when he would do something he wasn't supposed to do. She would yell something out in French. And it was something I guess her mother used to yell at her when she was a kid. But I remember when we were dating, and she said, "I'm going to cook this blah, 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 blah," something real fancy French. And I thought, oh, that sounds really good, I was excited. And I got home, and she had cooked at my house that evening, and it was cut up potatoes with hot dog weenies in it. I was so disappointed.
Fine cuisine.
Yes. So, but anyway, but Charlotte, thank you for joining us.
Oh,
It's
thank you for
always
having me.
such a pleasure to have you here with us.
It's been wonderful, a wonderful week.
We
here,
got
for
to
sure.
me and my family got to spend the evening with you yesterday, and
Yes,
you got
that
to meet
was
them.
wonderful. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
and we've had a good lunch here today with everyone.
Yes, Charlotte
Yes.
treated us all to lunch here at Shades today
And
from
Shirley.
Olive
And
Garden.
yes,
Thank
and
you, Shirley.
We can't forget Shirley, but Shirley won't get on the camera with
Yeah.
us, but that's okay. Maybe someday.
Thank you anyway. It was
We
great.
do appreciate it. We enjoy.
My
We hate
pleasure.
that you have to go back so soon.
I do
Yes.
too, but God's willing, I'll be back again
Very soon.
very soon.
All right. Well, that's all for tonight, folks.
All right.
Hope you enjoyed the show. See you Saturday morning at 10:30.
Saturday morning, 10:30, Shades of Grace. Come to worship with us.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Good
Bye,
night.
Charlotte.
Bye.
Bye, Jimmy.